maybe something that's very sexually explicit. I'm very uncomfortable with that.
Okay.
I don't like showing all of that on screen.
Okay.
Either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still one of those, even if I'm watching a show alone and something very sexually explicit comes up, I forward it because
You're uncomfortable with it.
I'm not happy. And I've always said, since I became a girl dad, I'd love to make films that I can watch with my daughter. I'm not saying it for principle. I just, I don't know how she would possibly feel to say, what's he doing? I don't.
I get
that. I'd like to consider that.
Hi Abhishek, hi Remo. Welcome to the Quint.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I watched the trailer and I genuinely enjoyed the sweetness I think the film has. I still have to watch it to understand what are the other layers to the film, but it looks absolutely very simple, very sweet. But there was a dialogue in the film that kind of, I feel, is such a reflection of the society that we live in today. Is there are two kind of parents. One is that lives for their kids' dreams and the other is that lives to fulfill their dreams through their kids, right? How do you think this dialogue in itself will impact the viewers?
I mean, the dialogue itself, it says everything about the society. And I don't know how this will impact the audience.
Yeah.
But
what's the hope that you have?
I hope that I'm getting a good response for the trailer and everything. I hope that after seeing the film, I get the same response what I'm getting for the trailer.
Is there anything in the film that resonated with you and with you, Abhishek, personally while essaying the character?
Being a parent, I think, obviously, to go above the call of duty for your child is something that resonated a lot with me. And also about how we should actually maybe sometimes have faith in the younger generation.
Yeah.
Listen to them because they sometimes might know something that you've missed.
To fulfill the dream of the kids.
Yeah.
जो होना चाहिए सारे पेरेंट्स को बोलना चाहिए कि with their support आपको पता नहीं है कि वो जो ड्रीम वो देख रहा है शायद आप उसको रोक रहे हो but you don't know कि अगर आपने उसको पुश किया शायद उसी ड्रीम के लिए वो बहुत कुछ कर पाएंगे.
बिल्कुल. From the trailer, I'm not too sure if I'm right, but I also feel there's this underlining theme of resilience in the film. Is that correct? Do I get it correct?
I think the theme of never giving up.
Never giving up. Okay.
If you have a dream, hold on to it. Don't let anybody convince you that it's not worth it.
Right.
And do whatever you can in your power to make it a reality.
Right.
So yes, I guess you could term it as resilience or a never say die kind of attitude. Dhara's character, which is the role Inayat plays, and Shiv, which is of her father's, which is my role, have a very interesting relationship. He's a widower in the film.
Yeah.
So Dhara is his everything revolves around her. And because he's a single parent, obviously he's very protective about her and concerned about her. So he's apprehensive and reticent to allow her to do anything out of his norm or something that he perceives he might not be able to control. Being protective, I guess, he's justified.
Yeah.
But when he sees the determination that she has and the belief that she has in herself, that reassures him that, he can maybe slacken a bit and allow her to do what she needs to do. Actually, more than being a children's film, I think it's more a film Remo's made for parents to say, sometimes trust your kids because, they might teach you a thing or two.
Yeah.
Correct.
And this film is actually Shiv's journey,
right.
Of actually maturing and growing up.
Exactly.
I'm a single parent myself, so when I watch the trailer and I'm looking at certain instances and I can see that, because I feel, and I don't know, while essaying this role is something that you've also realized, as single parents, there's a high chance that we tend to overcompensate.
Yes.
So that sense of overcompensation is very high.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Shiv does.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He doesn't want Dhara to feel the vacuum of not having a mother.
Yes.
But, he's the father. There's a certain maternal instinct which he might not have. He tries, but I think all men will understand and agree that you cannot replace a mother. You can try, but that leads you to be very protective about her because that's what men know how to do. We know how to protect.
Right.
And in order to be empathetic to a young girl and her dreams, he's trying to do everything he can, but he realizes that maybe the way he's going about it is wrong. It's more the completion of his emotional arc than hers. And I think that's one thing we can learn from this generation is we've all been brought up, at least our generation has been brought up.
I'm in the same generation.
So we've been brought up to once the elders say something, that's it. That's the gospel truth.
Yeah.
This generation doesn't understand hierarchy. They're like, why? Because they've been taught from school to the computer to everything. Question everything. Be inquisitive.
Yes.
So today, if your kid says, if you give your kid an instruction saying, make your bed. Well, they should not argue for that, but just say, go to school. Why?
Yeah.
We look at it as back answering or insolence. It's not. They just genuinely want to know. Give me a good reason why I should do something.
Yes.
And then they'll do it if they're convinced.
Yeah.
It's not like he keh diya na bas keh diya. In this, the dynamic is he is trying to overcome it. He's trying to cook, he's trying to drive, he's trying to dress her. I'll do this, I'll do that. Okay, I'm in complete control. I'm the puppet master. I control her life. And suddenly she says, hey, I want to do something. And you're like, no, but how am I going to have, and also it's the fear of a parent saying, wait, is she going out of my grasp?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not comfortable for any parent.
Yeah.
Single or a couple.
Yeah.
When you realize that it's time for them to fly the coop,
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what? Yeah. So we term it as teenagers,
Yeah.
Oh, they're just being rebellious. No, they're growing up.
Yes.
You spent your time from birth till now to empower them
Yes.
to be able to look after themselves. Because there's going to be a day when you're not around. Right?
Oh.
Yeah. And then when they start showing those traits, you're like, no, but you're still a kid. I mean, I do, it happens with my parents. I have an 83-year-old dad who still likes to, I'm sure I'm sitting with him sometimes and he pulls rank on me. I'm like, dude, I'm 49 years old. You can't pull rank on me. But then I realized for him, I'm always going to be his baby.
Yeah.
That sit with your family. If your parents are there, watch it with them. Hug them.
Yeah.
Because trust me, you're going to want to. And appreciate what all they do. And also, most importantly, don't judge them.
Yeah.
This is their first time as well. And they're also learning, it doesn't come with a manual.
No.
And they're also learning. So, learn to be like, okay.
Yeah.
And he's said all of that so beautifully.
If I could just come back to the previous question about resilience, where I said if there's a theme of resilience, looking back at your careers, both your careers, the challenges, the successes, right? Is there a moment that instantly comes to your mind where you felt that, there was a time in my career or in my life, I've been my resilient best and really risen above it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Every Friday.
Oh, yes.
Every Friday.
Yeah.
That's God's way of keeping you humble, right?
Yeah.
Every Friday, mehnat karke picture banate ho. Another person who has nothing to do with that film is going to judge it, and you have to accept it. Yeah. And it takes a lot of strength in the day to wake up in the morning and open that newspaper and read. Now it's on your phone.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of strength, a lot of resilience. It takes a lot of belief in yourself to know when to listen to feedback, when to say, okay, I might not agree with this, but it's every Friday. And not just for your films. It's every Friday that it could be somebody else's release. We're all part of a large community, a large fraternity.
I like that you said that.
And the fact that, yes, we all have healthy competition, which is essential for us to grow. These are my brothers and sisters. Their films are my films. Their films do well. It speaks well for my industry.
Correct.
I can very proudly say that I was one of the first people, I had not seen the film, to message Vicky on Chava. Every film that does well. I feel more empathy for films that might not do as intended. Because they've all tried. Nobody goes out there wanting to make an unsuccessful film.
Yeah. I love the sense of community that you have. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, this is where I grew up, right?
Absolutely.
This is literally the family business.
Yes.
Mother, father, wife, everybody's from the business. Now nephew.
Yeah.
It's the family business, and they are all family because we've worked with all of them. There is an emotional connect with all of them.
Yeah.
And we have to start talking about that a lot more.
Yeah.
I think we have too many people who look into our industry who want to talk about it as very separate factions. It's not.
Yeah.
We are, at the end of the day, essentially a big extended family. And what the other does has impact on what we do. We want to look upon it in a very clinical, selfish way. A film does 1,000 crores, that brings more money into the industry so that
Yes.
more films can
Yes.
get made. So there's a
Absolutely.
possibility you might get employed for your next gig.
25 years in the industry.
Yeah.
Today, when you're offered a script and you're evaluating it, is this something that's an absolute non-negotiable that no, okay, this is a kind of film I'm never going to do?
Yeah.
And what is it something that you say, okay, this is it.
Absolutely.
This one works for me.
The one thing I'm never going to do is evaluate my films. The minute you start evaluating an emotion, you're done.
Okay.
You hear the story, did it touch you? Yeah, go for it.
Right.
It has to be an emotional response. But I also understand what you're trying to
Yeah.
ask. Maybe something that's very sexually explicit. I'm very uncomfortable with that. I don't like showing all of that on screen either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still one of those, even if I'm watching a show alone and something very sexually explicit comes up, I forward it because
Yeah.
मुझे
You're
थोड़ा अजीब
uncomfortable
लगता-
with
yeah,
it, yeah.
I'm not happy. And I've always said, since I became a girl dad, I'd
then
love to
though.
make films that I can watch with my daughter. I'm not saying it for principle. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know how she would possibly feel to say, what's he doing? I don't.
I get
so I'd like to consider that.
And here it is.
Yeah, I hope she's happy after the film.
But thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank
Good
you so
luck.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.